Hey, everybody, it's the coach. This is Madden.
This place first opened way back in 1957. We are inside legendary Lambeau Field here in Green Bay. Today, it's a Week 9 matchup set to go here between the Detroit Lions and the Green Bay Packers. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. And a glance here at their quarterback standing 6'3".
I read something prepping for this game that he said prior to, and I think he really said it a few months ago, where he talked about he wants to have the type of season that at the end, he's buying gifts for all the guys who helped him along the way. And I know that the team wants to hold him to that and really get into his wallet. But that's what good leadership gives you. You know, at the end of the season, because you've done a great job, QB, he's usually the guy that springs for the good stuff.
On second down now, Clements. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Second and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first.
They did tell us they wanted to establish the ground game early, didn't they?
They did, and a small sample size that we've seen so far, but pretty good return.
Yeah, you got to like that. They've strung together a couple of first downs, established what they wanted, the running game. And guess what? They also got the lead guy running it pretty well, too.
And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And they do finally get him, but he makes it all the way to the 6. All right, Charles, let me put you in the head of one of those defenders out there. You have a big play like that go against you so early. What does that shake your confidence?
It shouldn't, but it often does, because your thought process all during the week is how you're going to get after that offense and make your plays. And when they make one against you, it makes you a little bit hesitant.
Time to regroup. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Here's a 2nd and 7. He's got Thompson here, complete. And, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. They'll give them the yardage on the pass and half the distance to the goal line.
Because they're inside the 30, so now you don't march off the full 15, right? You have half the distance to the goal. In any event, that's precious real estate given up.
Well, they've been practicing goal line offense all week. Let's see if they're able to capitalize here. They'll try to run this one in. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 6, and it'll set them back for second down. Bear in mind, that wasn't a big lineman back there for the tackle for loss. That was a cornerback.
So are you saying the myth has been shattered? That all of them are not just cover corners?
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Second goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
3rd and 15 here after the 1st and 2nd down plays went in the wrong direction. That's to his running back, complete. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
I think we'll see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
And his kick here is good. And the Packers are off to a 3-0 lead. In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
Let's go, defense. Our time. It's our time.
Alpha. To the right. Step.
On first down, Lacey. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. It's a gain of 14 and a first down for Detroit.
A gain of 14. First down, Lions.
Come on, set. 50, plant.
Watch a slant. Watch a slant.
On first down, Burrows. And this will be taken across midfield and into Green Bay territory. North of 100 yards, the two scores. And, you got to give a lot of credit to the O-line. We talked a lot about him, but offensive line was good, too.
They're obviously in sync with each other, whether it's zone blocking, power running game, no matter what. He understands how to read them and find the creases that they provide.
2nd and 2. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 27-yard line.
First down, Detroit.
Set. 30 base.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
Stick.
On 1st and 10, Lacey. And this is caught at the 8. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards.
Well, I know from past experience, before you actually play a game, you visualize what's going to happen. And I don't know anyone who doesn't visualize themselves being in the center of what's going on.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit.
Watch the middle.
A great play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Lions have taken the lead. Solid job up front. Really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
That was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, get the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
And he'll be tackled right on the chalk at the 45. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run.
That's something you have to be aware of as a defense and have to find a way to account for him. And if you're not going to use a spy, you're telling your guys to keep your eyes on him because when he breaks out and makes plays like that, all it does is hurt you.
Have to at least be able to contain him somewhat. There they could not. Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield, incomplete. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
On second down, Clements. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield after a gain of about 4. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout, and we will. We've got an injured Packer on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. To throw on third down, Nicholson. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. A gain of 19 and picking up the first.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
A first down run, good for about 3. 2nd and 7 coming up. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. On 2nd down now. Clements, and he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Count me as a little bit surprised by what we just saw there, because this has been a pretty long drive, and normally you think that wears down a defense. In this case, looked like the offensive line let them down a little bit.
Yeah, allowed the penetration and the ability to stuff them for a loss. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. The Packers on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Back to throw. Nicholson. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he's going to be taken down here, still a couple yards short of the first. The screen good for 6, but it's not enough as it leads to a 4th down.
They dialed up the screen pass on 3rd down, and for a second it looked like it was all going to come together, and they had a chance to pick up a first down, but the defense got there and finished it off.
No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
This is fielded at the goal line. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
Here we go.
Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team, and that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders. That
guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. On 2nd down, Burrows, and he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
Throwing on 1st down. Lacy, wide open receiver complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 1st down for the Lions on a nice pickup of 18 yards. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Looking to throw. Lacy. And this is caught at the 8. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Give him 4 on the carry there at 2nd and goal. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. He'll try to run this one in. And he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown here in this 1st half. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. And always a good 1st half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. The Packers on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Operating from the gun. Nicholson. He's going to float this one deep right. And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Packers. A big play there. His first touchdown on the year as his guys have cut the lead. Down to 2. Now for the point after. And this is up and good. It brings him within a point now. It's 14-13. So a 75-yard scoring drive on just 3 plays. And it ends with a Packers touchdown. This fielded at the 2. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits, and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Able to get what they need to keep the drive going with a 6-yard pickup on 3rd down.
Brandon, they're still in the lead, but momentum's certainly been going the opposite direction. So to me, that's a really important pickup there on 3rd down.
Try and regain some confidence, and you're right, they need to stem the tide a little bit. That certainly helped. Now a man open down the middle of the field. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Right about 20 yards on the pickup. Well, officially, they'll say it's going to go for 19. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. On 2nd down now, Burrows. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
The penalty moves him into the red zone here on 1st and 10. Able to fight for about 4 yards there to the 13. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go. third down. Close. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And no field goal try here from the red zone. Offense out there. They'll go for it on fourth. On fourth down, Lacey. And my goodness, this is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Packers D comes up with a big stop. And he'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on fourth down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs. I've seen, you and I both been to practices where we've seen, hey, third down situation, big third down alert, lock in here, fourth down play, make sure you focus just a little bit extra. It didn't pay off in that situation.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. From the gun, Nicholson. He'll buy some time right. He'll try and run it. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down. Back to throw. Nicholson. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. From the 32 now. Here's first and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards. Back to the 33. Now here's a timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half. So on second down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. From the right hash and call it an even 50 yards. And this one is right down Broadway. And with that, they'll take a 2-point lead here in quarter number 2. So a big play before the end of the half to get him into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
So we have reached halftime, an abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. 2nd and 13. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Well, it was 2nd and long. Now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Lacey. And he finds a man on a crossing route. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a first down. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. First down, Detroit, 16 yards on the pickup. And that last reception puts him over 150 yards now on the game, Charles.
And now it's not just execution. It's not just performance. It's a mental aspect that's going on. Because right now, he has kept the defense so much on their heels, got them looking at each other. Who's going to cover this guy, and what type of coverage can we put out there to try and slow him down?
60 Pittsburgh.
Big stop, D. Big stop. Let's go.
They'll keep it on the ground. Burrows. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. They'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a first down.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all. Challenging that defense, and on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a first down.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get him. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for him. Show him that you're supposed to get the football.
And he'll get 4 there, down to about the 12-yard line.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. It's a 10-yard gain there to set him up first and goal. He had a really solid first half running the football and picking up where he left off here in the third quarter.
How about the yardage he's piling up right now? This feels like a full game, not just this series that we're watching right now. I know people are screaming, where are the adjustments from halftime on the defensive side of the ball? Sometimes they're just not there. Sometimes you just have to find a way to tackle someone. That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
2nd and 4. And they're going to get to him, a sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line.
Well, in my time in football, I've yet to see a playbook that draws up offensive plays designed to lose yardage. A running play loses yardage on first down. They try and throw it, take a sack on second down. What can the offensive coordinator come up with here on third down?
On third down, Burrows. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. Now I think we're going to get a timeout here. Yes, a timeout here as it looks like we've got a Lion that's shaken up. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. And his kick is right there. It's good. And with that, they move ahead by a point here in this third quarter. Well, they don't get a touchdown here on the opening drive of the third quarter, but I think maybe you still say mission accomplished as they come away with the lead.
No, absolutely. You keep the pressure on, right? You go downfield, get some points up on the board, and hope that you've motivated your defense to take the field and hold that lead.
And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Here's the Packers offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line.
Keep playing hard.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. That one a broken play, but it ends up being a good play. The scramble goes for 20.
Under the category of obvious, you hate giving up a first down on 3rd and long. And somehow, he finds his way downfield and picks it up.
If you look at the coverage defensively, oh, this is great, but no one accounted for him at the quarterback spot.
At some point, you actually have to tackle him and get him on the ground short of the first down marker.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. And he's got his man on the out route. 11 yards and a Green Bay Packer first down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me. I'm going to keep firing.
Stepping up, he'll try and run. Try it! Oh, no, he lost the football.
Plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
2nd and 9 at the 20-yard line.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. 2nd and 9 now. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. Looking to throw. Nicholson, and he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective.
And this is caught for a touchdown. Now hold everything here, flag in the backfield. This one might be coming back. Late game, that hurts. Take the touchdown off the board.
No doubt about it, and this is where you make a great movie scene, right? Go in, rally the team. Okay, we lost points there. Let's get it back and go out and score again. Can he get it done?
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. Only able to pick up 2, and that leads us to 3rd and goal. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Back to throw. Nicholson. Well, the 2 men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively. Brings up 4th down. Unsuccessful pass on third down, but at least you got 3 points here in your hip pocket.
Yeah, and I would take it from my hip pocket and put it right on the shoe of my kicker and go get those 3 points. This isn't even a discussion to me. This is a chance to take the lead after a good drive. Do it.
So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
And Detroit getting set to go now. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
They'll run on first down. Burrows. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. It's a gain of 14 and a first down for Detroit.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. The throw over the middle taken in, and they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. A good pickup there, 21 yards. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. But everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing receivers because you have a specific zone you have to cover. When a receiver's in your zone and he crosses to another one, you got to let your guy know. They got a completion there, but I like the discipline they showed to stay in their proper areas and then make the tackle.
Blue draw quarter. To the right. Get it.
They'll keep it on the ground. Burrows, and they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
On third down, Lacy. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
2 minutes remain, and that's our score differential as well. 2 points here in the fourth quarter. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They come up on a second down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down the wire. That was play number 7 on this drive, and it got him 7 yards.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
Protein spill. Watching it grind. Here we go, here we go. 55 is mine, guys, 55.
Oh, no, he lost the football. And the Packers pick it up. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, that simply is a missed opportunity. They're in position. If they take the ball downfield and score, they've got a chance to win the game. Instead, they cough it up. I don't think next week at practice is going to be a whole lot of fun for him.
On the other side, no bigger time to force a turnover when you've got that small lead.
Yeah, and when you look at it from the offense's perspective, taking care of the ball is so important. I know they're going to have all kind of ball security drills in practice all next week.
So they come up on second down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. They'll keep it on the ground. Clements, and he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. For the Lions, an extra DB in the game now here on third down. And he'll give it here to his running back. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. And the Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. That's taken on the 25. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Lions will take over. So now the Lions down by 2. And time, a huge factor. And they need at least 30 yards, you'd have to think, here to move the football to have a shot. Back to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. Back to throw. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. First down Detroit, 16 yards on the pickup.
This is where hustle and urgency come into play. I think you've got to get up there and spike it.
They'll look to throw. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. And a nice gain of 21 yards. They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on second and goal. They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on second and goal. He'll look to throw. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. In the pocket, chucked it away. Flag comes down.
So you got to move a little bit, right? Know where you are on the field. Have some awareness. Tackle to tackle. You got to get outside of that tackle box in order to get that done.
So out comes the field goal team now for the second time here today. This to almost certainly win the football game. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. So out comes the field goal team now for the second time here today. This to almost certainly win the football game. And his kick is indeed good. And it's celebration time on that sideline as they have taken the lead in the final seconds. So he's able to come through in a hostile environment, and you'd have to imagine that's the game winner.
Yeah, how about that? And the way that this game's gone, you think they really wanted to get to overtime and take their chances there? They wanted to get this thing done. When you're the visitor, you don't want to play into overtime. You want to knock it down, get it done, and go home.
And the decision to bring it out in a good one as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Look at the clock. Everyone knows the situation. Probably time here for one final play.
And we know what that play is going to be. It's got to be some sort of Hail Mary, throwing it towards the end zone and hoping someone can catch it or catch it off of a tip. Think back to 2015. Didn't we see Green Bay pull that off twice in the season? Once in the regular season, once in the playoffs. So stranger things have happened. It'll be interesting to see what the defensive strategy is about who they put on the field to try and knock that ball away.
So now they'll come up on second and 10, once again from the 28. Flush to his right, and he's going to keep it here. He'll have a first down past the 40, and finally marked down at the 42-yard line. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for Detroit, the win means they'll finish the first half at a respectable 5-3 record. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Packers, they fall 2 games under 500 now at 3-5.